Hey everybody, this is Tony.
And this is Paul. We're coming at you from the Friends for Life podcast, where we discuss the ongoing lives and issues of people with developmental disabilities to spark positive change in the field.
And we have a lot of fun doing it.
Making sure that individuals are reaching the goals they have set for themselves. That's one of the many goals of Assured Health Services. If you're looking for a residential care provider or searching for ADS services, Assured Health is your go-to place. Assured Health, helping others succeed. Learn more at assuredhealthohio.com or call 419-442-8066. Dustin and Jordan, welcome to the Friends for Life podcast. It's awesome being here at Synergy. So what brings the both of you out here today?
Well, we have an art studio out of Highland County in Hillsborough, Ohio, and it is run by, and all of the art is created by adults with disabilities.
Cool.
When they work on the pieces, we range anywhere from woodworking to canvases to, we've done things with yarn, we've done things with paper mache. We really kind of get in there with all kinds of different ideas, and every time we have an idea, we try it.
Awesome.
And the ones that we really, really like and that they really enjoy, they run with. So right now, we really specialize in like wall plaques that are painted up, and they are actually the drawings done by adults with disabilities. The artists draw the piece, and then I blow it up with an old-time projector and put it on wood, and I cut all the wood out and then bring it back in and they paint it up. So when it's painted, we put like one of the little sawtooth brackets on the back of it so that it can hang, and it's a wall plaque. So that's what we're specializing in right now. But we have a new artist that really, he has a 3D printer and he loves his 3D printer, and he sits at home and he designs all these things. We have these little toad magnets right now that are the most colorful, most adorable thing in the world. We've almost sold out of those already today. So he brings what he gets done into the workshop or into the studio, and I take it to festivals and different sales, and that's where we sell.
What does RHDD specialize in?
Well, RHDD stands for Residential Home for the Developmentally Disabled. Actually, we just had our 47th birthday on Saturday.
Ooh, wow.
We were incorporated as a residential provider. There were several families of adult children with IDD who got together 48 years ago and decided they wanted a different option for their adult child. And in the 60s and in the 70s, the options for residential housing wasn't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. So these families decided they wanted something different for their loved one, and they partnered with the Coshocton County Board. It wasn't the county board at the time. All of our language has changed.
Yeah.
But the Coshocton County Board and these families incorporated RHDD. And we started with one group home and then grew into 2 group homes within just a few years. In the 90s, when the Medicaid waiver came into existence, we were one of the first providers in the state to become certified as an OBRA waiver. At the time, it was called OBRA. It was replaced by the IO waiver, which we were also certified in, and supported living. Actually, supported living was the precursor to the Medicaid waiver. And now, today, 47 years later, we do just about everything that a person would need. We try to specialize in all of the services in-house that somebody would need. So if you need housing, we can help with that. If you need a job, we can help with that. Transportation, home modifications, adaptive equipment, remote services. We try to do everything in order to help people live independently in the community.
The Reliable Drug and Alcohol Testing Clinic is a leading provider and convenient source of pre-employment and occupational type testing. Their clinic provides services to a wide range of private businesses, healthcare facilities, and municipal and county courts. Reliable is an independent, locally owned clinic. As a result, they provide their services at a lower cost than the major hospitals, have faster turnaround times on test results, and eliminate the long waits typically incurred at these larger facilities. To learn more, visit reliabledrugtest.com.
I was telling somebody earlier today at the conference that when I worked for the state, I always felt like I connected really well with people who had a disability and families, especially families. And I think I probably did do it a lot better than many others. But it wasn't until I started working for OSDA and actually got involved in Project STIR training, which I think you've heard about, and really spending time with people who had a disability and understanding the uniqueness of everyone, the differences and the commonalities, and just the love for life in general. And it really is probably the best part of my job.
Hey, for some of our viewers and listeners who are not familiar with Project STIR, can you explain what that is?
Sure. Well, STIR is an acronym for Steps Toward Independence and Responsibility.
And really fast, you know how we are with our acronyms in the DD world, so people, here's another one.
That's right, another one. And it's really very basic leadership training that takes place over the course of about 3 days. We target people with a disability to come and bring with them a personal ally, someone that knows them well, that is going to be in their life after the training, so that when they want to use some of what they've learned, there's someone there that went through the training with them that kind of knows how to give them that support and the encouragement. Or if they just try to use it, that, someone knows what they're doing and reinforces that attempt so that they begin to gain the confidence to speak up for themselves and to recognize their feelings. In the training, we do a lot of activities about lessons, I guess I should say, knowing yourself, appropriate ways to communicate, but we try to keep it simple.
There you go.
Trying to think problem solving, either some individual steps to solving problems, working with a group, how to start or make an advocacy group better, the importance of connecting with other people, all of that. And looking to the future in terms of, what do you really want in your life?
Right.
And what's important to you, who's around you that can help you maybe get there. What experiences have you had in the past that you'd like to continue to have in the future, or things that maybe weren't so great in the past that you want to avoid? So it's a very fun 3 days.
Nice.
And the rewarding part of it for me are some of the comments that we get and some of the changes in behavior that we see. And I think it's all because, like Synergy, the conference we're at right now, Project STIR training creates an experience where everybody's equal. Everybody's on a level playing field. Everybody's participating and being engaged in the same thing at the same time. And there's no hierarchy. There's no, hey, I'm the client and I'm the staff. Everybody is right there together.
I'm Dr. Craig Escudé, President of Intellectability. State developmental disability agencies, managed care organizations, and providers across the United States use Intellectability's health risk screening tool, e-learn courses, and person-centered training to improve health equity for people with IDD. Visit replacingrisks.com to learn more about how you can employ these tools with people you support.
No, what's been so great recently, and the reason that I brought our whole team to Synergy, is because it's just a different vibe. It's very person-centered. It's not about what are the benefits that you have, what's the funding source, what's the cost, and what is technology, and is this, nobody really trusts technology completely. And we are in an industry that, let's face it, we're pretty far behind the 8 ball when it comes to technology, right? Yeah. So what we've realized, we learn so much from our users. is that they really do want to use technology like everybody else does to expand their resources and their support network. I mean, we all need to figure out how to do online banking.
True.
We all had to figure out how to use Instacart, right? And so what do you do if you don't even know how to use the phone and you're not even allowed to use the remote control in your own house? I mean, that's just a big gap, right? And so what we're finding at Synergy and just this whole, I think the second half of 2023 has been almost like this awakening.
Yeah.
And so when we're describing what we do to individuals, we change it up a little bit. We have the same exact technology, but when we're talking to funding sources like insurance companies, we have to talk in terms of medical deficits and why they need this technology. But the reality is everybody needs to be able to build their own apps. Okay, and that's how we describe it. And they get it immediately. So you can build your own checklists for getting out of the house on time, for what do you need to do when you get in the bathroom? How do you change the thermostat? How do you make a meal? All these how-to things. And you don't have somebody telling you what to do. And you also don't have very good intentioned people asking you constantly, are you okay? Can I help you with anything? I mean, why do we need to be reminded that we might have trouble sometimes?
Yes.
None of us would like that. So they get to control their own technology. They make their own schedule. They use their own pictures. They make up their own words. And then they get to choose who to send those reports to. So one really good example we had as an entryway into using technology to expand your support system is, how about a guide to help you figure out your grocery list?
There you go.
Okay, so you go into your kitchen and you open the refrigerator. These are the things that should be there. Check off anything that you're missing. Okay, we're out of milk. Okay, that's on the list. Now you're gonna have another guide that takes you through the grocery store. Okay, and you're putting your items in the cart, and then there's a screaming child 2 aisles over. And it just ruins your day and your train of thought. And now you're freaking out a little bit. So you can just tap the guide and you can get a remote support provider who is on call because they know you are grocery shopping right now.
Nice.
And you haven't done it before by yourself. And you just want that little extra safety net. But you are the boss. You are in control of whether you call them for help or not. And then once they're on the call, they can see that you're doing the grocery shopping guide and they can maybe change what's on your screen. How about we just do some breathing exercises right now? Just follow along on the screen. Okay, now let's get back on track. This is where we're going here. And so they're in complete control of when and how they receive support.
THS Remote Supports is clearly focused on improving independent living through dynamic and personalized services. Their systems have been carefully developed and perfected to ensure that everyone receives the best care through the least intrusive means possible. Located in Cincinnati, Ohio, they've spent over 20 years providing in-home supports to individuals with disabilities. If you or someone you know is looking for a remote service provider, go to thsrss.com or call 513-882-9088.